Hi guys, I'm Seven's mom, and today we are answering questions. Turn. Good boy. We are getting so many questions about how much Pup Cup 7 eats, why does he wear clothes, how did 7 and his siblings get their name. I want to start off by saying 7 doesn't have any issues with dairy. He doesn't eat the whole Pup Cup. We only give him a few licks. 7 is not lactose intolerant. No, he doesn't have diarrhea. No, he doesn't have any issues. No, he doesn't have diabetes. We give him a Pup Cup once or maybe twice a week. And again, he only gets a few licks. We've talked to our vet. They said it's fine, it's cool, no worries, as long as he's not having any issues. The other question we get is about 7's siblings and why they don't get Pup Cups. Well, the truth is that they don't like Pup Cups. Yoda and Lala, our senior cats, don't like car rides, nor do they like Pup Cups. Himalaya likes whipped cream, but she only likes it from home. We've tried giving her a Pup Cup from Dutch Bros or Starbucks, but she doesn't want it. I think a lot of us forget that each cat has their own individual personalities and their own taste buds and their own likes and dislikes. So just because you see 7 doing Pup Cup videos doesn't mean that the other 3 are neglected. The other 3 are very loved and they all have their own love language. 7 gets attention, yes, but so do the other 3. For example, Lala likes to be chased around the house. She likes to get what we call sneak snacks. Yoda has to have cuddle time every day. It doesn't matter how busy I am or what I'm working on. I have to stop and go cuddle with Yoda for about an hour. That's his love language. And every time I watch TV, Yoda comes and cuddles up with me. Every time I will go anywhere in the house, Yoda's right behind me. That's Yoda's love language, and that's how he's always been since day one. And he's now 10 years old. And that's what he loves. He doesn't like to go outside. He doesn't like to do car rides. We have tried, and he gets very stressed. Himalaya, on the other hand, just wants to play all day. That's her thing. She laser pointers. She wants to be out in the catio. She'll occasionally go with us on car rides. It just depends on her mood. So again, each cat is different in the way that they are loved because they have different love languages. And of course, 7's love language is car rides. He loves car rides. He is very food positive. He loves to eat. So it doesn't matter if we're going through a drive-through or me and dad are sitting down for dinner, 7 will be there to eat, and that's 7's love language. Otherwise, he doesn't want to be bothered with. He is playing with Himalaya or he's napping or whatever the case may be. Those are just examples of their different love languages and how they all differently need to be loved. And it doesn't mean that just because you see 7 more on social media that we love the other 3 cats less. No. Each and every one of them is spoiled freaking rotten. Here's another example. Himalaya doesn't eat leftover food for breakfast. If I put down her food and she only eats half of it, which she is very finicky about her food, and sometimes she'll finish all her food and sometimes she won't, even though I give her the same amount. That's just who she is. And if I try to give her that same food at lunchtime, she won't touch it. She won't touch it. So I have to give the leftover to either Yoda or 7, and those 2 will eat it, but Himalaya won't touch it. So yes, they're all different love languages, and they're all spoiled freaking rotten. I think a lot of us forget these cats have short lives, and they literally live in a box all day long. So me and 7's dad, or 7's dad and I, always try to make their lives a little bit more entertaining, because they're like dogs, right? Dogs get to go everywhere and do everything. 7 is sort of a cat dog. Yes, he likes adventures and stuff like that, but the other 3 don't. So we always try to give them things that will bring them happiness and joy, so they're not depressed and sleeping for 16 hours a day in our house. Our house is full of love and activities and playtime, and literally we have no restrictions in our house, but like a couple of things just to keep them safe where they're not allowed to be. They have rugs that they can climb up into the ceiling. It can sit on the couch. The only place that Dad doesn't like is the countertops of the kitchen, which I understand. Me, I'm not so strict. I just clean the countertops off before I cook or anything like that. It's no biggie to me, but that's Dad's preference, and of course we live together, so we have to respect it. Okay, so let's talk about the clothes thing. So 7 loves wearing clothes. He doesn't have any issues with the clothes. 7 doesn't wear clothes all day long. The only time he wears clothes is when we're out and about, and of course it's summertime, so we don't really put clothes on him. If he does, he's wearing just a t-shirt and his chain, but that's about it. And again, he's at home, he's naked all the time. Even sometimes when we go out, he's not wearing any clothes. The other 3 hate it, don't want to wear it, don't care for it, so we don't put it on him. Every once in a while, Himalaya likes to put on a t-shirt or a vest, and I put it on. But if she says no, I don't do it. I don't. None of our cats are forced to do anything that they don't want to do. So some of you have been asking, how did 7 siblings get their names? So I'm going to tell you really quickly how 7 and siblings got their name. Let's start off with 7. 7 has actually, I made a video a couple weeks ago about 7's rescue story and how he got his name, so you guys can refer back to that video about his story and how he got his name. Next will be Himalaya. Her name comes because we rescued her from the Himalayan mountains. No, I'm just kidding, we didn't. Actually, me and my fiance were on a hike like with 7, and not so much a hike but more like a trail, and we were just walking and clearing our mind, and 7's dad saw Himalaya first before I did, and 7's dad was like, "So look," and I'm like, what? And he was like, "Look, that kitten." It's rubbing its body against like this fence pole thing, and oh my god, she was so adorable, but she was so skinny, and when I looked at her, she just started yelling at the top of her lungs, and I'm like, oh my god. The cat distribution system is at work. So I went towards her, and she came straight up to me. I picked her up and took her home. She was infested with fleas and ticks, and we had to bathe her. When we were driving home with her, 7's dad was like, "We should name her Himalaya." And I'm like, "Himalaya?" He was like, "Yeah, like the Himalayan mountains." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And let's talk about my 2 senior cats. Yoda, which is my soul cat. Absolutely love him. I love all of them, but Yoda's my soul cat. Okay, so let me go backwards. So Yoda and Lala are from the same litter, so they're biological brother and sister. So my mom and dad had a litter of kittens in their backyard, and my mom called me and was like, "Hey, we have kittens. Why don't you come and look and see, you know?" Me and my fiance, 7's dad, we went to my parents' house, and this was 10 years ago. First person we saw was Lala. Lala was the runt of the litter. She was super tiny, and she was always hiding behind her brothers and sisters, and she was super spicy. And I'm like, okay, I want Lala. I brought her home, and of course she was infested with fleas, so we had to wash her and get her all up to par. When I brought her home, I realized, like, you know, I told my fiance, 7's dad, I was like, Lala's gonna be home alone. She needs like a play buddy. I think we should get another cat. He was just like, okay. This time 7's dad picked out a kitten, and he ended up picking out Yoda. Yoda had the biggest ears, and that's why we named him Yoda. And Lala, we named her because I kept trying to find names for Lala, and the first one that came to mind was Nala, and then I realized, like, there are so many people that name their cats Nala off of the Lion King, right? That's where I originally got the idea from, and I was like, how about Lala? I like Lala. And 7's dad was like, sure, that's cute. So that's how Lala got her name, and that's how Yoda got his name. Thank you guys for watching, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting our journey. Thank you for loving 7 and his siblings, and thank you for loving Dad and I. We really appreciate you guys. Again, back in January. We never thought we were going to be here, and here we are, and we enjoy every single moment of it, and we couldn't have done it without you guys. So again, thank you so much, and we appreciate you guys, and we love you guys.